Okay, so starting off in the front here, it's got electric tongue jack, a little light on there as well. The 2 propane tanks. This is what I was talking about, how they can be either 20 pound or 30 pound. This is the adjustment rod here for the bracket, so you can just screw this up to here if you have a taller tank for the 30 pound. Built-in gauges. It's got a automatic switch. This should switch automatically. I just usually got down to where I was low and I just flipped it over myself. I would always kind of keep an eye on them. This thing just sips propane, even if you're using the heat quite a bit. It really, I think we've gone through 1.5 tanks maybe at the entire time. We've had 2 tanks, I think this one might be pretty low. But so it has the gauges built into it. As soon as you crank them on, so you get an idea of where you are. Sometimes these will fluctuate as far as pressure goes and how far into the full line it is, depending on pond heat. So if you're somewhere cold, even if the tank's full, it may only read like halfway into the green. As soon as the sun comes out, you get some heat on it. These tanks heat up, it'll go buried right back into the green again. And again, the big thing we just did was upgrade to the dual 100 amp hour lithium batteries. These have a monitor actually right there on the front of them. It tells you your condition. You can actually cycle through different screens right on the battery. Same for both of them. And these will actually not get fully charged off of the converter that's built into this. It's not lithium ready. You'd have to upgrade the converter itself. They have just one step up from the converter that these come with that has a lithium option on it. Lithiums tend to float at a little bit higher voltage, so you're not going to hurt anything by not having the right charge controller on there, because you're really just not putting the voltage that it can take. So it's going to be just under what it can take. But the cool thing is the solar panel. This comes with a 100-watt solar panel on this camper. It finishes the charge up. I think this was at, I don't know, 54% when I put these batteries in, and within a day or so they were both up to 100, just sitting out in the sun. Now, a day or so to charge up a battery seems awfully slow, and that's because it is for lithium. The problem with that is the solar charge controller that this camper comes with from that 100-watt solar panel is really not efficient enough for lithium, and that was one upgrade I was going to do. It will work, though. As you can see, these are both at 100%. I believe it's only a 10 amp charger, so you're just not, it's trickling less voltage and less amperage back into the batteries, whereas maybe going with like a Victron, like 30 amp charge controller would top these off really quick. So that's one thing I might suggest doing. It's a pretty cut and dry process. There's videos on there, and there's a lot of information in the groups for Ibex and stuff like that for showing you how to do those upgrades. Like I said, that was the next step I was going to do with it. While we're also up here, this is going to come with the weight distribution hitch, and this is an R3 hitch right here. I have a Duramax. Sometimes I use my weight distribution bars, sometimes I don't. The hitch is there. I have the bars stored away in the camper as well, and then they connect here. I've got a quick release, like springy emergency brake deal, so if it's a breakaway, for some reason the camper broke away, that deal there it's just easier to connect, and you don't have a loose cable, because most of them come with cables like this, just a metal cable. Sometimes they'll drag on the ground. You definitely don't want that to catch. So with this springy one here, it always stays up and off the ground and won't get interfered with anything. I've got the fitting that goes, you're going to get the electric drill as well. When I say this thing comes with everything, I mean it comes with everything, even the tools, everything. And I've got the adapter that goes on the electric drill for being able to put down the stabilizer jacks super quick. I mean, it's just like they're done, they're down, as opposed to hand cranking them. So that's pretty much it up here up front. I would suggest getting a cover for the front glass, mainly because it does have a rock chip in it. And they make covers, and what I've done here, and this is why there's some Velcro along the bottom. The problem is we're here in Texas, and it was so hot that the adhesive behind this, for some reason on the top piece, started to melt. And it actually melted along here too. Now I just used some goof off and got most of it off the sides and stuff like that. I just need to do down here. But I'm going to leave this Velcro strip here in case you want it. So it may not look like much, but this is just some rubber mat material that I cut out in the shape of the glass. And then I used Velcro that I adhered to the back of this, and then also onto the windshield, and that way you can just stick the this cover over the glass while you're traveling. This one right here, I don't know if I would use again, but I will give it to you as a template, or you may want to go a different route. They do make covers for these. I was just trying to get something that would work just as well to do myself. But the only problem we ran into, like I said, was it was fine before it got into the hundreds here. It was fine before that, and then one day I went over and it just fell down about it. It had slowly worked its way down the glass about halfway, just leaving a sticky residue behind from the adhesive. But it's certainly worth its the trouble to go through and have one of these either made for you or get this, and maybe you might come up with a better way to make this work for you than I did. But definitely having something over the glass has two benefits. A, protects the windshield from any other chips, cracks, things like that. It's automotive glass, so it's not going to shatter. It's not leaking or anything like that. It just has a rock chip in it with a crack. And also too, it cuts down on the reflection from the sun. Sometimes the sun's at a certain angle and it'll reflect right into your rearview mirror, which is kind of annoying. So couple benefits to having something like this. Like I said, my solution would have worked in probably a cooler climate, but not here.